So Trump is talking about taking over the Gaza Strip with Netanyahu sitting right next to him while he's saying these things. Uh, let's see exactly what President Trump is saying and see if we can't dive a little deeper into it.
Prime Minister, you are talking tonight about the United States taking over a sovereign territory. What authority would allow you to do that? Are you talking about a permanent occupation there, redevelopment? And Mr. Prime Minister, do you see this idea as a way to expand the boundaries of Israel and to have a longer peace, even though the Israeli people know how important that land is to you and your citizens, just as the space is inherited by the Palestinians as well?
I do see a long-term ownership position, and I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East. And everybody I've spoken to, this was not a decision made lightly. Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land, developing and creating thousands of jobs with something that will be magnificent in a really magnificent area that nobody would know. Nobody can look because all they see is death and destruction. And
So, one, he said everyone he talks to liked the idea. How many people did you talk to? Did you talk to the over 1 million plus Palestinians who lives in that strip? I don't think so. You might not even talk to Netanyahu about this. This might be the first time he even heard about something this crazy. Said it before. United States is an occupational people. The people of the United States. That's how the country was built. That's how this country has been thriving. People come over here, the outcast, shipped over here, sent over here, you know, hundreds of years ago, couple hundred years ago, whatever, a few hundred years ago, 17, 18, 19, yeah, okay, whatever, 1600, 1500, 1500, damn, it's been a while, damn, really. But anyway, sent over here to see if they can live off the land, see what they can do to it. Thought they was discovering something, and lo and behold, there are people who's already here living off the land, enjoying the land, loving the land, respecting the land. But them folk are like, nah, Europeans, Spaniards, nah. Y'all don't know what to do with this. All y'all know is y'all living in the wild, y'all savages. You're not civilized. You don't know what to do to this land. You're just wasting it. We're gonna come in, we're gonna help you out. And we're gonna just, show you how to build this, grow that, all while pretty much dying because they don't know what the hell they doing over here. So there are a lot of people that they allow the people that live here to show them how to survive in the land. And then once they do that, then they say, okay, thank you. Now we're going to take all y'all out. And they just commence to wiping out of people from border to border. Because it's from sea to shining sea, as they would say. And they did that under the guise of trying to, like I said, trying to civilize these savage people. Like I said, people who probably been living here for thousands of years without your help, but yet you want to come help somebody. That is a problem with the United States. Oh, that's a problem with them folk. They love to try to help people that they think need them help, but they really don't need your help. What they need is just the same opportunities you have in order to make a way in their lives. You know what they call it, the Trail of Tears. You remember the natives? Well, let's just say it like this: they wipe out most of the natives. The few that survived, they put them on plantation, not plantation. Well, I should have called it plantation. Reservations. No, we're not even talking about slavery right now, but reservations. They put them on reservations, and somehow they come to find out that wait a minute, we put y'all on land that has a lot of oil on it. Well, damn it, we're gonna move you from Oklahoma. Hey, we got a better place down there in Florida, even better. And, and they brought hell. They done brought some of them to Dallas. In Texas, they moved them out of that Oklahoma, out of them some of them reservations because it was too. No, it was rich in minerals, like say oil for one. And that's just what they do. They're dispersed. They destroy people, and don't think anything about it because they sweeping down as it needs to be done for the betterment, for the benefit of the people that they have pretty much wiped out. History always repeats itself. What the old boy say? History doesn't repeat itself, but it damn sure rhymes. Well, I guess it's rhyming right now. And it's nothing to be, I'm gonna say, shocked about, surprised about, because a leopard doesn't change his spots. Now, you might think, well, man, this guy's crazy. Why'd they vote him into office? Well, because you didn't have nothing better running against him. You first had an old senile man that within a matter of months, if not a year or so, he was going to be completely out of it mentally. I mean, hell, he was damn near that way at the end of the end when he got pushed out of the primary. So not the primary, but the election. Then they brought in a woman who, oh my gosh, was so incompetent it was ridiculous. Up on the world stage and out public, word salad, couldn't answer a question, didn't know what to say, sounded silly, looked like an alcoholic, a functioning alcoholic, if you ask me. So she wasn't really a viable candidate. So who else you gonna vote for? Because y'all pushed everybody else out. You know how you did Bernie Sanders back when he ran against Hillary Clinton? I mean, trying for the Democratic nomination. Remember how y'all did him? I mean, damn. I mean, y'all will make sure y'all will push a certain candidate. Hell, I'm sure it was candidates that could have ran for president in the Democratic Party now that probably would have beat Donald Trump easily. But no, y'all had y'all sights set on Kamala Harris or Joe Biden for whatever reason, and now it backfired. But Donald Trump is not saying or doing anything differently than he's not doing anything differently than what has been done for the last 400 or 500 years in this country. It's just that he's just either bold enough or ignorant enough to say it publicly.
And rubble and demolished buildings falling all over. It's just a terrible sight.
And he's
I've
like saying that all they know is that it's war. But if you leave each other alone, there is no war. Now, Donald Trump, you supposed to be the guy that's against war. Now, Biden the one, got in all these wars and stuff. And again, it's the United States is transactional. We're a capitalistic society. So this is what you got to come to, you know, expect that whatever is done by the leaders of this country, they're gonna want something in return. And I always, like I tell people, I tell my kids, nobody's gonna give you anything that they're not gonna miss. And so the United States giving out hundreds of millions and billions of dollars to Israel, eventually you're gonna have to pay up. So they like, well, shoot, tell you what, instead of y'all just giving us some money back, let's just have that little old strip of just a small piece of land. Yeah, it's prime real estate. I think Donald Trump's son-in-law said it was prime real estate. Like, Lord have mercy, y'all just don't want to shut your mouth. But prime real estate, and then you got like that canal right there where you can get, ships can go through for trade. And if we own that, we ain't got to pay nobody. We just make money hand over fist, and it just help the United States. The United States is just trying to stay relevant because they know eventually the empire is going to fall. So the ladies, them folks are trying to stay relevant and trying to keep a thumb on everybody. But like I say, eventually it'll be over soon.
studied it. I've studied this very closely over a lot of months, and I've seen it from every different angle. And it's a very, very dangerous place to be, and it's only going to get worse. And
But
I
hold on,
think
this is what you got to. This is what I got. What it has to remind you of. Like I always say, make these things personal. Very dangerous place to be. Prime real estate. How many of y'all live in a place? I'm gonna say like this: Dallas. Prime real estate, Uptown, aka used to be Freedmansville, Freemantown. I mean, this is where all the free slaves down here in Dallas went to, all live together. That's where they put you, like Native Americans on a reservation, right? So they put us all in one little spot. Well, fast forward to the future, and that highway sitting right next to right next to Freeman Town, prime real estate. So they had to do everything they can to get all of us up out the area, and they still doing it right now. I mean, you got old houses, frame houses, brick. You got projects, apartments, everything sitting right there, like within a mile, half a mile from the highway, from Interstate 75. No, 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 we can't have that there. So what they doing? What they've been doing, they've been building apartments that's like $350,000 for a freaking apartment. They got big businesses over there, you know what I'm saying, building up over there. You see these late 20, early 30s, you know what I'm saying, white folk moving over there in the hood and stuff, and everybody looking like, what the hell's going on? When you see something like that, understand your time is up. Your time your time is almost up, and them motherfuckers finna move in and they finna move you out because it's prime real estate. South Dallas is the same thing they've been doing for years, slowly but surely. They've been doing it for years, moving all of our people up out of South Dallas because why? Why? It's like right there off of 35, 30, mixed master, all that. No, all that stuff is like right there next to South Dallas, and you got Fair Park, and you got the Cotton Bowl, and them folks tired of riding through South Dallas and looking at the slums to get to Fair Park. So what they doing now? What they've been doing for decades is they just moving us slowly out. So eventually, we're not gonna be able to afford to even live in that little area, and them folk gonna take over. That's what they do, and this is what Trump is doing over there in the Gaza Strip, or trying to do.
I think this is an idea that's gotten tremendous, and I'm talking about from the highest level of leadership, gotten tremendous praise. And if the United States can help to bring stability and peace in the Middle East, we'll do that. Okay, let's go. Caitlin, go ahead.
Thank you so much, President Trump.
Caitlin, go ahead.
What you were saying there.
Say it. Go ahead, please.
On what you were saying about the Gazans leaving Gaza, going to other countries. One, where exactly are you suggesting that they should go? And two, are you saying they should return after it's rebuilt? And if not, who do you envision living there?
I envision the world people living there, the world's people.
And
I
America
think
making money off of the world people living there.
they'll make that into an international, unbelievable place. I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable. And I think the entire world, representatives from all over the world will be there, and they'll live there. Palestinians also. Palestinians will live there. Many people will live there. But they've tried the other, and they've tried it for decades and decades and decades. It's not going to work. It didn't work. It will never work. And you have to learn from history. History is, just can't let it keep repeating itself. We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad.
People go in the meantime, Mr. President.
But more importantly than that is the people that have been absolutely destroyed that live there now can live in peace in a much better situation.
So America helps finance this war, helps finance this war. He talking about it's a bad, how this tore up, his war is just destroyed, demolished, and America's going to come in and try to help rebuild it, make it a beautiful, beautiful place. What do you call it? The Riviera type place, so everybody can have peace. Here is, I think, the lesson in this story. And then I'm gonna let this video play a little bit longer, then we'll see. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna play the whole thing, but the lesson is this. When you and your brother are fighting, you and your people in your neighborhood, like I say, make it personal. The gangs, folks rapping, fighting against their ops, claiming territory that they really don't own because somebody else owned it, but whatever. And you are wiping each other out. You're bringing down the property values. There's nowhere to work. No money's made. whatever jobs you have is like minimum wage at best, and high poverty rates. And folk is looking like, yeah, they're doing what we want them to do. It's only a matter of time before we take over. Let's just go back over here and just relax. It's just let's keep planning, let's keep plotting. Then eventually, once the values go down so far, I've seen houses like in Dayton, Ohio, back in the day. Not the day, but like not even a few years ago, where houses were like a few $100s. You just go in, you can buy a house for a few $100, maybe a couple $1,000s. Buy a house and you can fix it up or whatever, move in. And it costs money to fix it up or whatever. Copper, all the copper and everything might be gone, but hey, you got a house, you got the frame, you got the really the important part. Everything else, you got the structure. You can replace, like I say, pipes and wires and stuff like that, and then you got you a nice, well-built, sturdy house. But that's what these guys are doing. They have destroyed Gaza. Let this war go on. That's why I say I don't be understanding wars, because they got the technology and the knowledge to where they can wipe entire nations out within a matter of seconds. But you fighting in wars for years and decades. I mean, you got to make it make sense to me. So they fight these long wars, and then once the place is just all down, tore up to rubble, now they want to come in and quote unquote help build it up. But they're gonna, what I'm saying, they're gonna implant their stamp in there or their brand in there somewhere, make money from this place long term, and let people go about their business, destroy everything, uprooted people's lives, their religions, their beliefs, all that there. And so thinking that's just the way they operate. They never gonna stop, never gonna change. So never gonna stop, never gonna change, and it's just gonna be the same way. They're gonna continue to be like this. And that's just how they operate, man.
because they're living in hell. And those people will now be able to live in peace. We'll make sure that it's done world class. It'll be wonderful for the people. Palestinians mostly we're talking about. And I have a feeling that despite them saying no, I have a feeling that the king in Jordan and
So
that
when you destroy something enough and then you come in and say, hey, we'll come in and fix it, it's almost like, what else are they supposed to say? No, no, we don't want your help. No, we need some help. So we need some immediate help. Yeah, they're gonna say that, and then you just gonna come in and save the day, right?
the general president, but that the general in Egypt will open their hearts and will give us the kind of land that we need to get this done, and people can live in harmony and in peace. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We've been listening to President Trump along with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Uh, Trump obviously going through many things in that press conference, but I think it's most important to emphasize what he said about the Gaza Strip. Pretty stunning what he said. And let me just give you a few quotes here. He said, the United States will take over the Gaza Strip. We'll own it. We'll own it. His quote. He said, I do see a long-term ownership position. He also said, everybody I know loves the idea of the United States owning that land. Even Prime Minister Netanyahu referred to it as President Trump is taking it to another level. Our team coverage begins here right now. Jeff Zeleny live outside the White House. Jeff, look, Trump says a lot of things. He doesn't necessarily always follow through on what he says. In this case, though, this is a significant thing, right? It's not as if he misspoke or he said it once. He said it again and again and again. The United States will take over the Gaza Strip.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integrated platform.
Own it.
Aaron, it's extraordinary to hear a sitting American president say such words. Never mind the history here that really flies in the face of so much of what he said. But let's just focus on the president himself for one moment. He also said, did not back away from the idea of sending U.S. troops to the region. Donald Trump rose in his political prominence because of his opposition to America's longest wars in the Middle East.
Shoot. Yeah, he said he wouldn't send troops and didn't want to be in wars, but when it comes down to the money, man, people change their mind. People always change their mind when it comes to money. You make people do something they don't want to do when it come down to money, or something they swore they didn't believe in. But you put enough money out there, yeah, folks will change their mind real quick.
Of course, Iraq and Afghanistan. And there we heard President Trump saying, not ruling out the idea of sending a U.S. Troops to the region. So that, of course, is one issue. But the whole idea of the U.S. owning that, and he was asked there, under what authority would that happen? Answering, everyone loves the idea.
Yeah.
And of course, our own Caitlin Collins asking the question there, what happens sort of when it's rebuilt, and envisioning this as a Riviera. So we also can't help but wonder here, as we've watched the president speak all day long at several events, really for a couple hours in length, making the sort of the story here about his ideas. Meanwhile, across Washington, across the country, and indeed the world, the government is being reshaped by Elon Musk, by others. So it's unclear if this is something that certainly is a provocative that gets headlines, which we should pay attention to it, of course, but also,
Like I said, I'll put the link of this video in the description box so y'all can watch it in entirety. I might watch it later and who knows, maybe do another video on this. But the thing is this: with time comes with change, and change comes with time. There's no empire that has lasted forever. Even when you're talking about like Holy Lands and Jerusalem and stuff like that, all that stuff has moved. If you read the history books, it'll move from spot to spot. So nothing stays the same, not even in the last 2,000 years. And right now, this is an age of change right now. And so you just got to be ready for it, man. I mean, you just got to understand you can't like keep things the way they are forever. It's just impossible. Like you can look at maybe like land ownership. You may own like tens and thousands of acres. You know, your great grandfather, great grandfather could have had thousands or hundreds of thousands of acres. But then now you look at it and probably none of his offspring got a house. Probably all renting. You know what I'm saying? Not understanding that, like I say, you got to pay attention to the history. You got to pay attention to important stuff, politics, things of that nature. You got to stay on top of it, and you got to move accordingly. Because if you don't pay attention, like I say, you end up losing it all. Somebody come in and just take it all from right under your nose, and you're not even realizing. And by the time you realize it, it's too late. And when it's time to fight, you had nothing to fight with because all your resources are gone. So this is what the Palestinians have to understand, because you got the president of the United States who probably is in the pocket of Netanyahu in the first place. The only way that a person that the president can say something like this with a straight face and not, even bat an eye is because he's comfortable saying it. Probably because the person that's standing next to him is cool with it. So okay, we'll roll with it, whatever the case may be. Like I say, because Israel don't care. Israel just don't want the Palestinians. See, that's a holy war. Israel doesn't want Palestine to have that land, so they probably don't care who have it as long as they don't have it. It's kind of like, what was that movie Rosewood, when they said that Sylvester had a piano, and the dude said, "You can't play the piano." He said, "I don't care. So what? The Negro got a piano, so I want one too." You know what I'm saying? Basically saying, "Hey, you can't have it, but if I can't have it, you sure can't have it. Let somebody else have it, whatever." But that's the way it is, man. That's the way, like I say, that's the way the world works. That's the way the United States interacts with people. And unfortunately, we just got, sometimes you got to move around, figure out what you're going to do for your life to make it better, to at least maintain and to grow. Because everybody else is doing it on a mass scale. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Let's have a intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing but maybe a couple minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here. If you'd like to support us financially, you can get super thanks, super chats, super stickers, and you can go to the description box where there are links there you can click on to help support the channel that way. Also, we have some great merchandise that I know that you would love. We got beard products, silks, perfumes, colognes, and handbags. Just go to the shop button, hit that button below, Or you can also go to martinmorale.com where we have more products there. Check it out. I know you won't be disappointed. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace and I'll see you on the other side.